Begin the meeting by the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There's no objections or corrections to the reading of the minutes, so the stand is read. So no objections. First order of business is John Elmore.
Well, for the last couple of months, I've said I hadn't had anything for you. Since this is the last meeting of the year, I thought I'd come up with something for a change. On those actions to acquire the tax title deeds, those are all completed now, and we now have deeds to the 14 parcels of property that we were pursuing this year. 2 of those parcels, I believe, are to go to the town of Hymera. We will need to pass a resolution tonight authorizing that, if that's your desire.
We had already done that.
Well, I knew we
talked
about it a long time ago, but now that we own it, we got to do it.
Okay.
And then the other 12 parcels, together with a piece of property the county had owned since the 1940s or 50s, are all in the county's name. I mean, we can set an auction date and have a deed. What this lady was referring to a couple meetings ago as a deed auction and sell them off. So it's just a question of when you want to set it.
When does it work out best for you?
Well, we got to publish it, so we'll have to get it published. But whenever you guys want to do it, it's when you do it.
I have no problem. Whenever we get it published, and we'll set a date. How long we got? We got to have 2 weeks or a week or what?
Does that have to be published just once
It's got to be published 3 times.
or 3 times?
3 times. So
How many days apart?
a week. So we're looking
I make the motion, we just,
to
winter,
January.
January.
Have to be in January.
I have a motion, we'll let her publish it and let the new commissioners
Set the date.
set the dates at their meeting on the first, or third, whatever the date is.
We're talking about dates for sale of those properties.
Yeah, it'd be what,
So you want me to
not
get the
6th, didn't it?
notice, the notice of publication ready and everything, and then let the new commissioners vote on the auction date? Okay. That's what I was. Now, do you want me to go ahead with a deed from the county, from you fellas, to the town of Hymera for those 2 lots that have been promised to me?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'll have to get with the Hymera town attorney, because they've got to pass the same resolution. But I'll go ahead and work up that deed, and probably have you stop by the office one at a time or whatever, just to sign it. Make sure Hymera gets it into its minutes as to the resolution accepting it, and we can convey those 12, and then we'll have the new commissioner set the date for the auction of the properties. And I think that's the only thing I've got for you.
You got anything, Brenda?
Just some bills to be signed, claims that
I'll
you
make
have
a
to sign
motion.
both of those.
We approve the claims.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Need signatures on both pages, Brenda.
Yeah. And I have one bond for Judy Harris that needs to be signed.
Bonding her for what?
Trustee, not, it's,
Trustee of.
yeah,
Curry.
Curry Township.
See what we're signing now.
Just on the bottom of it. That's all I have.
Okay, you got anything, John?
No, nah. Move on.
Okay. You got anything?
Well, I was gonna give you guys gifts since this last meeting.
You got anything else? All I can take. I do have something. We had a street out here on Johnson Street. It's, we did a, want to reduce the speed limit there. And so Benji had to do a study on that. And he believes that the speed limit on Johnson Street throughout this area from west city limits to Sullivan, West 41 should be established at 35 miles an hour. We've had some complaints about how fast people have been going out past there, so we did do a study, and I'd like to see this passed.
I'll make a motion, pass it, or set speed limit, what, 30?
35, I think it is.
35.
35 mile an hour.
Got a motion, I'll second that motion. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Does that have to be published one time before it can be posted, John?
Yes.
It doesn't
It can be
say.
published after it's
Posted.
but it has to be published before it can be enforced.
Okay.
We have some appointments tonight for the redevelopment commission. We have letters. This is just one. The rest of them, I think, will be after the first year, but I think we do the redevelopment. And we got a letter from Larry Swank, who'd like to be considered to serve on the board. I think you got a letter from him. Got a letter from Bill Springer. He has his desire to be a board member, redevelopment. Got Glenn Wills. He does not want to be on the board. I think he was a board member. Judy Bingachia, she was saying she'd like to serve on the redevelopment advisory board. And Twyla Ushery would like to continue to serve on the economic committee for another term. I think we just put her on there, right? And then she's just,
I'll make a motion that we accept those that are in, or wanting to be on the board. And just,
Was there just one on the advisory?
and
you had Judy on the advisory board, and that's all.
You just want to be on the advisory board?
You don't have anything from Jay Southwood there?
Hold on a minute, I did, yes I did, I'm sorry about that. Somewhere, I had
What is
Jay.
that right there?
that's the
Okay.
Glenda.
There's 4 appointments, isn't there?
What did I do?
You guys do
I'm
3.
glad you brought that
Then
up.
it-
Well,
I had a paper from Jay. Where's my folder at that I gave you back?
I know he was, I thought he was
Yeah,
on
he
the
was,
advisory,
was,
isn't he?
was.
Right here it is.
Yeah. And then one of them he wants to be on and the other one right. Yeah. The advisory board, he does not want to serve on, and he wants to be a member of the redevelopment commission, I think. So
Did you have it?
there was 2 of them.
He's going to take Glenn's place then.
he does want to be on the redevelopment.
Board.
Yes, I'll go ahead and.
I'll make that motion.
Yes, I know.
He's wanting to go off the advisory board and take Dwayne's
Yes, he does.
position. I'll make that
Right.
motion to put him in that position.
Yeah, we have a letter from him, because I was just.
So we're accepting Larry Swank and Judy B to be on the advisory, then Bill Springer, Twyla Ushery, and
Jay South.
Jay Southwood. I will second that motion.
All those in favor, motion carries. Thank you, Jane, for correcting me. And, let's see. We need to, we'll just jump down here to the stair step representative. Is she here tonight? Who was? Get you in here. Yeah, yeah.
My name's Ginger Hathaway. I'm here to represent Stair Steps to Success program. It's an at-risk youth program that helps all students in middle school through Sullivan County. And January is National Mentors Month, and we'd like for you guys to proclaim it National Mentors Month so that we can do advertising and put up proclamations throughout the town.
Yes.
And I have something I need you guys to sign if you would.
Any motion?
Yeah, I will make a motion.
Motion second, all those in favor? Yes, motion carries.
There's two sheets. I don't know if you're gonna sign both or just maybe make copies of one. One's for you guys. Yeah. One of them.
Shit, Brenda probably have to file one and give you back to the original.
Oh, I have this one copy of yours.
You take those.
After Fred.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to open some bids for the highway materials for 2013. I think tonight we're going to verify that the bid's properly done and the bond's in place. And Benji, he'll review the bids, and then the next meeting he'll.
Open them, please.
I think these are all going to be gravel and stone. Just be sure when you open them that there's a bid bond or a check. Call off who you're opening.
No, I turned it on, you just had it on.
Yeah, I've got Bland and Sons.
Just tell me if there's a bid bond or a check. You have a check, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Then put it all back in there so Benji can look at it too.
Okay, we got Lincoln Park stone.
Is there a bid bond or a check?
I'm looking.
Take it out there. We'll have it all mixed up.
Luke, who do you have?
Hanson Aggregates, and they have supplied the bid bond.
They have a bond?
Yep.
Okay, Jane, I got FAR. Certificate.
There's a bond.
Let's see. Yeah, I got one here. Deacon Stone has it on it.
Okay.
Gibco,
This one here, the open.
yeah, that's Kennedy, isn't it?
Yeah. Kennedy Trucking.
Look like they probably should have letter of credit possibly on the top.
That's what it is.
That's the bond.
A letter of credit, yeah.
Yeah. Kennedy was, I got a bond. Check, I mean.
This check.
Legal, yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be for repair parts. This is under repair.
Capital on load.
Boyd and Sons.
Toys, auto.
Toys.
Catlин's got a check in here.
Is that for razor blades only?
I'm trying to figure it out here, what?
It might say on the envelope. Yes.
Do we have to accept bids for greater blades?
No, we don't have to. We do so that we know that we can get them, is why we do it that way, so we know they're available.
Toys has a check.
Oh, this is petroleum, Jane.
For petroleum,
Mm-hmm. Oil. Pure oil. Antifreeze.
it's not for repairs, we just had two for repairs, Catlin and Toys, right? That's for petroleum,
Mhm.
okay, then let's go to the other petroleum.
Let's see what this is. May just be a copy of the same thing. It is.
It's all petroleum?
Mm-hmm. So far. Okay, here's greater blades. And this one, that's greater blades. They're all three the same, except for, there's three copies of it here.
But it's for petroleum?
Petroleum
And greater blades?
and greater blades.
Now, petroleum, are you talking about oil and?
Yeah, 10W30 motor oil, 1040 motor oil, 2050, 30 plus, 1540.
Is there
Sure
a bond?
ship, sure
Is there a
ship.
bond or a checking closed?
Bond. Proposal sale of lease material, bond here. Is that not the bond, Jane?
Yeah, that's it, right there, yeah.
So you got greater blades mixed in with the antifreeze and oil and the ATF and.
This is all going to be oil and petroleum together there, pass them down.
Yeah. I've got True Blood, Jane.
Oil and grease bid, Sullivan County, don't have a name yet.
have a
Get
check.
their tape out, it's gonna be good. Jackson Oil Solvents.
Is a check or a bond?
Yep, got a red bond.
Okay, this is oils and lubricants only, no fuel.
Series Solution has a bid bond.
Fuel only? I think it is.
So we're probably Family James on AAA. What are you putting in on this? Keep you from getting all mixed up with everybody else?
Okay, now we're gonna go with culverts, metal culverts. And more metal culverts. That's those on there.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay.
Shane, that was for oil too, they did oil too, series did.
Series did oil
Did
and,
fuel.
this is another one, culverts.
Okay, I got wholesale drainage and they got a bid bond. You need to know what there, anything other than
I just
that.
need to know if there's a bond or a check.
It's
It's
a
a bond
bond.
or a check.
It's a bond.
Metal culverts,
Oh, we got a check in there.
and we got a bond.
Oh, they take your
Packet.
in there. I'm sorry.
It was a check.
They got a check. I thought it was a bond. The check was in there. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I got this back there, yes.
And here goes the other
Right,
check.
that's nothing. There we go.
Regis culverts, yeah, Regis. Oh, we have help me with this.
CPI has a bid bond.
Maybe day for it.
That's cars and tubes. That's asphalt material.
Best one tire is what, is out here. Got a bid bond, that's what I got here. The best one.
Asphalt materials as well, a bid bond.
county-owned business.
Same thing, you guys gonna get to that? Am I gonna be included on that 800 East?
Has Benji sent anything?
No, not to me, he has not.
Well, it's my understanding that there's a pretty good piece of change laying here that could be going, that should be spent for that.
Well, I don't, personally, I think some of that change, I do know needs to probably go in front of the school up there, which the city may end up owning, but it belongs to the county right now. And the county's gonna put in a new bridge out there, and I think we're about 18 months away, maybe not that far. We've got a bridge going in out there. And I would like to see that road fixed, comes into the city of Sullivan with a portion of that money. But other than that,
Well, there's, if I'm getting this right, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been well over $1 million allotted to the county for road closures in Jefferson Township. And as far as I know, unless I'm wrong, there's been about 1/8 of a mile of blacktop put back in Jefferson Township. I'm wanting commissioners to be fair. Now, back 4, 5, 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to get that 800 blacktopped by Peabody, but it got shot down. Now, here I'm bringing it up again, the same road, same money, coming from the same source. Why do I have to go through this to get some blacktop when the money's been here? I mean, I know you'd like to see that road fixed. There's a lot of roads I'd like to see fixed. I'd like to see some blacktop down there where I'm at. So I can understand why everybody would like to have better roads. But let's be fair about it. Give us some down there. And the money's here. So I mean, I've been here for over a month now, 2 months, asking that about this and bringing it up. And the one time here, there was a big healthy check produced here from Peabody. But it seems like it's being pointed in different directions. I can take you and show you several hundreds of miles in Sullivan County of blacktop that don't have anybody on it for miles. Melon wagons, hay wagons, combines. Everybody uses it. The poachers use it. And I'm only trying to get a little blacktop down there where there's about 14 families can have some use of it.
Jane, how much money do we have unappropriated of that?
I think probably about 800,000 that hasn't been appropriated. You're talking about road
Right.
closure.
How many homes do you think is gonna be built down there?
There are some private property on
Yeah, I know, you've got, there's quite a bit, I mean, you're wanting to build a home, who else is wanting to build a home down there?
My boy probably built one if we can get a blacktop. And there's 2 new homes, brand new homes down there right now. And altogether, there's about 14 different private owners in there that could be developed into something. But I've been wanting to build a house down there for several years now. But I haven't, just for that reason. And I'm not going to yet if I don't get one down there, but I'm gonna continue to come up here and raise hell until I get some. But I don't wanna do that. I'd rather approach it straight up, put it out front, let's be honest about it, let's be fair about it, and go from there. That's all I'm asking you guys to do, is be fair about it.
That last blacktop that we did, what did it cost a mile? Is it about 60,000?
I think so, something like that, wasn't it?
But was that a gravel road that was blacktopped, or?
No, it was a
Did you
blacktop
do that?
road.
What that cost you? Or did you do it done? There's back out on you.
Oh, when we did beehive, it's 300 somewhere.
Does it cost, and it costs us quite a bit more with no, than just going over the top of the surface, so we gotta kind of figure in the extra, because you have to go quite a bit thicker.
This is going, I mean, there's not a whole lot of roads in Jefferson Township that you can honestly blacktop
Right.
and get in, I mean, you can blacktop a lot of them down there, but you're not gonna get people to build homes, you know, it's all privately.
That's one of them that, there's some private squares in there that could benefit from it.
I'd like to see us set aside about $240,000 and see where that takes us on that road. That'll get us down to private land. So I got a motion on the floor to allocate $240,000 to blacktop what we need to blacktop.
And I'll second.
We got a motion on the floor, second. All those in favor? All those opposed? I'll tell you why I'm opposed. I oppose this. There's a lot of people in the county that put a lot of money down in there over the years, and we took money from that area that we got for road closures, but you haven't really lost anything. I mean, I keep hearing this, that you lost something, but everything that's been closed, when it goes back the way it was. And there's kind of an illusion sometimes, because a lot of times if a commissioner or we have a bypass road set up down there on one project that anytime John wants something done, he calls and they do it. And, you know, those kind of things. And we had a culvert, we had that big flood a year or so ago, and we had a culvert down there 70-some feet down in the ground. We had no way of digging it out. They had no obligation at all to do anything for Sullivan County. Probably rightfully so, because people come in here and raise heck with them so much. I talked to them, they said, Tim, it don't make no difference if we do it or not, they ain't gonna think anything of us. And I said, well, I understand. But they said, we'll go ahead and dig that out, that culvert. They had no obligations. I think it was 300. Is that right?
Well, they had obligations, but their obligations had expired.
No, they had a 30 years, and the commissioners way before us signed that off.
Right,
So there
but
wasn't any obligation.
They were expired obligations.
Yeah.
They had obligations.
Now, you're talking about what, Peabody?
Talking about them digging up that
Well,
culvert.
what does what Peabody do for the county have to do with the money they're giving Peabody to be spent on these roads?
But what I'm trying to tell you is, a lot of people in the county like the fact that we're taking money and putting it where the most people need it. We got a lot of people that are seeing this happen, and they're glad we're doing it. They're wanting to go to higher populated areas and saying, hey, I'm glad to see you're taking some of that money and spending it where it needs to be spent when there's a lot of people. I have that a lot of places. And we've done that. We wouldn't have never been able to do 5 Mile Road north of High Mara had we not had the road closure.
I agree with you, Tim.
You've been here arguing that point too. You didn't want that to happen.
I'm very sure of that.
So, you know, I'm not against it.
But I can also go back, now wait a minute, now let me talk a minute. I can also go back over the years, the amount of money that's come out of Jefferson Township that has been spent in other townships to improve their roads and to improve whatever. Let's take all that money that come out of there and see how much of it went back to put back into Jefferson Township. It's going to be very little. Now, I realize that they're tearing up a lot of roads down there, but the rest of us is still there. And the people that, I think you brought this up in the last meeting about, you know, you didn't tell those people to sell their property and move, whatever. No, I didn't either. But they paid taxes on that capital gain and so forth, and the income that they got off of it. And that flooded around, some of that come back into the state and the counties. So, yeah, let's take west of Carlisle. How well is that populated when you get on down toward Oaktown? Very, very little houses compared to the mile of blacktop. But we're looking at blacktop that thick. Good, they got good roads, I'm glad of it. I want everyone to have a good road, but I'd like for us to have one too. And I mean, and I'll shut up, but I just want to get my
No,
part
I'm,
into
all
it.
right. I've sat on here and I've seen a lot of money go down into that area that, in places that they went back and blacktop that probably they shouldn't have blacktop. The road was closed and it went back, and they put it back because it was blacktop 50 years ago. So they met their obligation, and they went back and put it back blacktop, and there's nobody down there.
But that didn't have nothing to do with road closures.
Yeah, it
Right.
did, because it was all signed.
I mean, the money that was spent for the road closures, they didn't have no money. They put the road back that they paid to have the road closed. So where did the money go there? So they put it back.
Well, there wasn't
There
much
wasn't
money
any money
back
there.
then. There was only about $5,000 a mile.
But that
I think
didn't,
that was
what they
like
put back didn't
I
cost
think
the
that's what
county
it was.
anything, did
It
it?
wasn't very much money when we started this. There's a lot more money now.
Okay.
Yeah, there was hardly any money before this.
Yeah, go ahead, Lonnie.
Now, now, I wouldn't say nothing, but now, a couple of things with this. Some of those roads haven't gone back like they were. Some of the roads haven't even gone back at all. And one thing about this road, in my opinion, like I said, we talked about main thoroughfares, and I think it's a good thing to see if we get a main thoroughfare back from High Mara North. Good, well-traveled road. We need, I think, to continue a main road from Pleasantville to High Mara, a main road from Pleasantville to Carlisle. Here within a few years, they're going to cut one of the best roads, which a school bus travels all the time to go to North Knox. Several buses travel all the time to go to North Knox. You get this paved that far down to the homes that are already there that are suffering, and those who aren't doing that, but those that are suffering from this. They should be compensated, in my opinion. And I understand for all, but I also understand the Pledge of Allegiance. The way I understand it, it says liberty and justice for all. And that means the individual. The individual, it doesn't mean that you take from the poor and give to the rich. And that's just a scenario all the time. You can do things at times. But, having said this, if we blacktop this down to their road, then we're only talking 3 to 4 miles to keep worth of blacktopping to keep a road from Pleasantville to Freelandville. Instead of right now there's 5, 6, 7 miles that you're going to go. And that's still a good school bus route to work. I don't see why there's any opposition to this particular thing. And like I said, take money and put it elsewhere, because the way things are going to work, but keep some of these main things going. And I just have to disagree that we're always just complaining about, this, that, and the other. I think of the businesses in Carlisle that get people from Pleasantville. I think of the hardware store, the restaurants. You take 2, 3 individuals from Pleasantville that go that way that won't no longer go that way because there's not a good road. That's not good for them businesses. You take someone that lives in that area that's going to have to go now to Duggar and back around. That's not right for the individual. I don't care it's not right. That's the way I look at it, the way I do it.
Well, John's been your commissioner for 4 years down there, and he's spent the money his part of the money where he wanted to spend it. On his recommendations, that's what he chose to do. Probably been some improvements down there. I know he bought a ditching machine. We've done a lot of ditching down there. So.
Done ditching, done blacktopping. We blacktopped 600 east down to the church from 600 north, 600 south all the way down to 800 and back across. I like to got 500 done, but just no money. And try to get all the ditching we could, and it's time to move on.
Anybody else got anything?
Get set next to it.
You need to set the meeting for
Yeah,
next
Bob.
time.
Okay, let's set for January 2nd at 8 a.m.
I'll second that. I'll also make a motion to adjourn.
What about the New Year thing?
Oh, yeah.
What are you
We
gonna
gotta
do?
make,
You're gonna have your meeting when? January 2nd.
January 2nd, what it says here,
At 8 a.m.
at 8 a.m.
And you'll declare January 1 as a holiday?
Yes, I'll make that motion too. January 1's a holiday.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Was the 31st Lincoln's birthday or anything, James?
No,
Okay, because I know sometimes,
no, we've already used that. birthday.
all right, I just want to make sure. That was the, oh, that's the 24th, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will second your motion to adjourn.
5 minutes to 7, and the Southwest School Board of Trustees.
Thanks, Randy. In wake of the events that occurred on December 14th, 2012 at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut, the Southwest School Corporation would like to begin tonight's meeting with a moment of silence in their honor and memory. So at this time, we'll have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Randy, if you'd call the roll, please.
All present, everyone, all the board members are present. Are there any considerations or any additions to the agenda?
Yes, Randy, we have one addition tonight. It'll be item V1. It's a request from Nancy Nichols for a medical leave during the second semester of the 2012-13 school year.
Do I hear a motion on the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of November the 21st, 2012? Jim makes a motion, Jack seconds. All those in favor? Passed 5-0. The treasurer's report and approval of claims.
Okay, our treasurer's report. And the general fund, we have $4,519,432.01. In our debt service fund, we have $761,110.06. In our capital projects fund, we have $24,537.67. In our transportation operating fund, we have $17,744.93. Bus replacement fund, $4.15. Special education preschool fund, $0. Pension bond debt, $30,585.09. And rainy day fund, we have $1,529,364.74 for a total cash balance of $7,283,343.55. I would like to remind the board and the audience that in our general fund, we have a temporary loan of $4 million that we will need to pay back by December 31st, 2012. Also, in the tax-supported funds like the capital projects and transportation operating fund, we did receive our money from the county last week, so those funds will reflect a different balance at the next meeting. Claims, you've received claims numbers 14643 to 14682 in the amount of $413,861.94, and claims 14683 to 14785 in the amount of $1,737,288.97 for a total of $2,151,150.91 for the period of November 22nd, 2012 through December 20th, 2012.
Do I hear a motion on the claims? Jerry makes a motion, Grant seconds. All those in favor? Passed 5-0. Disposition of routine business items by consent.
Okay, we have the following resignations tonight. David Hunt, Sullivan Middle School 7th and 8th grade football coach. We have the following personnel recommendations at Carlisle Elementary Junior High School. We have Kyle Perkinson as a 7th and 8th grade boys basketball volunteer. At Sullivan High School for the 2013-2014 coaching, we have Alice Trimble, boys and girls track volunteer. Samantha Thompson, girls track volunteer coach. Trent Olson, head football coach. Matt McLaren, defensive coordinator and assistant varsity coach. Blaine Powell, offensive coordinator and assistant varsity. Larry Nero, specialties coach and B-team coach. Ron Hutchcraft, volunteer for football. David Hunt, volunteer for football. Mark Stoltz, volunteer for football. Bobby Nero, volunteer for football. Ron Shake, volunteer for football. Derek DeMoss, volunteer for football. And Corey Smith, volunteer for football. We have Alice Trimble for boys and girls cross country. We have Samantha Thompson as a cross country coach volunteer. We have Jeff Frost for boys soccer. Carlos Guzman, soccer volunteer. Rich McPhail, soccer volunteer. Kurt Hauger, girls soccer coach. Paige Vaughn, soccer volunteer. Raymond Seacrest, soccer volunteer. At Sullivan High School, we also have Janelyn Snap as will be subbing for Terry Sater during her absence. We have the approval of the following substitute teachers: Charles Slotman, Kyle Shorter, and Kylie Williams. Letter D, we have a request from the Indiana FFA, or it's actually Sullivan FFA, for them to attend the Indiana FFA Career Development Event Camp on Friday, January 4th, 2013 through 4 p.m. Saturday, January 5th, 2013 at the Indiana FFA Center in Trafalgar, Indiana. We have a request from the Sullivan High School Super Mileage Club to go to Houston, Texas from April 1st through April 9th to attend the 2013 Shell Echo Marathon National Competition. This is from Brandon Small. We also have a request from the Sullivan High School Super Mileage Club to go to Indianapolis from April 28th through April 29th, 2013 for the Indiana Mathematics, Science, and Technology Education Alliance, which is basically the Super Mileage Challenge in Indianapolis, and that's from Brandon Small. And then we have item G1, it's a request from Nancy Nichols for a medical leave during the second semester of the 2012-13 school year. And those are all the items.
Do I hear a motion? Grant makes a motion, Jerry seconded. All those in favor? Passed 5-0. Old business.
In old business, we have the presentation of the animals in the classroom policy to comply with 410 of the Indiana Code 33 Indoor Air Quality Rule in consideration for adoption tonight. This will be the second reading. I will point out the points, or the most important points of this policy. Live animals shall be allowed in the classroom for educational purpose with prior approval of the principal. And animals in the classroom request must be filled out and approved by the building principal. No live animal will be allowed in the classroom longer than 2 weeks unless the principal deems an extension is necessary due to the course of study. And that's the main point of the policy. The board has also indicated that this policy would be in effect beginning August 1st, 2013 if approved tonight.
Do I hear a motion? June makes a motion. Jack second. Jack is second. Grant second. All those in favor? Signify. Pass 4-0. 4-1. 1-0. Any other old business?
No, there's no other old business at this time.
New business?
We need to determine the date, time, and location for board reorganization meeting in January. It is my recommendation that the January board meeting be held on January 15th to elect new officers and swear in our new board members. This would be on a Tuesday, and we would do it at the Southwest School Corporation office. By moving it up to January 15, we only have to have one meeting in January instead of 2, so I ask that for your consideration.
Do I hear a motion on the January meeting?
That's all right. Is that okay with you guys? Barb? Nancy?
Now do I hear one? Jerry makes a motion, Judy seconds. All those in favor? 5-0. Pass.
I would ask you to approve the calendar for the 2013-14 school year tonight. Each board member was given a copy of the proposed 2013-14 school calendar. School would start on Monday, August 12, 2013, and end on Friday, May 23, 2014. 2014 graduation would be set for Saturday, May 24th. There will be 4 built-in snow days with this calendar. Any additional snow days would be made up after Memorial Day. This calendar has the approval of the SSEA. So I ask for that approval tonight.
Do I hear a motion on the school calendar? Jerry makes a motion. June 2nd. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Awarding of the property and casualty insurance for 2013. We need to table this motion tonight. Springer Insurance has not completed the renewal process at this time, so that needs to be tabled.
Miscellaneous business.
Under miscellaneous business tonight, I've asked the building principals from each school to present their A through F data. We will have Sullivan Elementary up first. Mrs. Vick. You'll have to turn that on, Robert. It's not on already.
You might want to take a look at this side of the paper first. The other side just has sort of that information broken down. The most important thing on that page is it says we're an A. So we're very excited about that. It has been, you know, a lot of hard work on everybody's part to get us there. And our teachers are extremely proud, and I'm very proud of them, and we're proud of our kids. It has taken all of us. So our paraprofessionals are a huge part of that also. But anyway, there's basically 2 parts that go into our letter grade that we earn overall. They look at our English language arts scores and our math scores and combine those to give us an overall grade. We earned a 4.0 in English language arts, which does give us that A. It's based on a few things. We earned a 3.0 overall for a score of 82.6% that passed. And then you can earn bonus points. And we earned in English language arts, as you can see if you move down on that page, we earned 1 bonus point for having high growth in our top 75% of students. So that's what bumped us up to the 4.0 on the English language arts. The year before we had 79.5%, I'm sorry, the state average was 79.5%, and we were above the state average again this year by 3.1% in English language arts. And over the last 3 years, we have increased our scores by 7.3%. In math, we did exceptionally well. We have a 5.5 overall score, which gave us over an A in math. We earned a 3.5 based on our 88% that passed. We were quite a bit above the state average in that area, 6.8% above the state average in math. We also earned 2 bonus points in math. We earned a bonus point for our bottom 25% of students, and we earned a bonus point for our top 75% of students, their growth. You can also lose points, and in either English or math do we lose any points. If you see at the very bottom of the page with all of the charts, on the left-hand side is mathematics. There's a penalty threshold there for having not enough growth in your overall student population, and we were far from it. We had high growth in our math. English language arts, we also did not reach the penalty, so we did not lose a point. But we were close, so we're going to make that a focus this year for sure, which we always do with our reading. So, you know, overall, we're just extremely pleased with our scores. Each year we've just improved, and we're very proud of that A that we earned. Below on the page with some of the information and facts, some of the things we feel like have helped is focusing on attendance and having incentives for students to come to school, emphasizing literacy in the early grades. We also focus on certain programs like Accelerated Reader. We communicate with parents regarding their students' progress in reading. We also do a lot of small group activities for students who are struggling to read to help them. We do I-STEP remediation every day in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade for 45 minutes. We also start focusing in October on just getting the kids kind of test-taking and practice skills each week. We use Acuity, which is an online program, very regularly with the students that kind of helps just drill the standards and differentiates the instruction to the students' needs. And last but definitely not least, we really appreciate having the support of our paraprofessionals, our aides in the building. We do have several, but we use them, all over. And I really feel that having them working with the younger students and also the special education classrooms has reduced class sizes, has allowed us to have small group activities for students who are struggling, and that has been a tremendous help. In addition to the teachers just working their tails off. So we're very proud of everybody and the students. Do you guys have any questions about this letter grade and how it's determined? It's new, so basically they combine your English and your math, and we were an A in both areas, so we were an A overall. We're actually at 5.5 on a 4.0 scale in math, so I always liked earning A's. Still nice, feels good. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks.
And you'll notice that, they were a C last year.
Yep.
Brought it up to an A, so they've shown a lot of growth. So,
Yes.
excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll have Mr. Martin from Carlisle School.
You'll first have to forgive me. For some reason, around 1:30, my voice decided to start failing on me. So, on the back side, or one of the sides, depends on what you're looking at first, is our state report card, and then on the other side is just a breakdown of the facts. I want to brag first and foremost on the entire student and student, teacher, faculty population of Carlisle. For the first time in school history, we were above state average on the amount of students passing both English language arts and math portions of the I-STEP. The state average was 72.4 and we passed with 74.7. It's a 2.6% increase from the year before. As in years past, our English language arts scores were above state average by a very large margin. State average was 79.4. We received an 83.7. We obtained, I'm sorry. And if you look on the back side, we did receive a bonus point for the amount of growth we demonstrated in our top 75% of students. And according to our report card, this is one fact I'm very proud to make, is the fact that for the very first time in our school's history, we surpass the state average in math. Something that has been a goal of mine since I've been there, and a collective goal amongst all students and teachers. And a year ago, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I hung my head low in the fact that only 60% of our 8th graders, 60% of our 4th graders and 57% of our 7th graders passed math. Last year, Mrs. Akers was able to get 100% of those same 4th graders, they're now 6th graders, but then 5th graders, 100% of her kids that passed math. The year before, only 60% did. Mr. Harden, with the help of our aides and Mr. Redmond, was able to take that 57% passing from 7th grade and got them to an almost 80% passing during their 8th grade year. So phenomenal growth there. We missed, we missed a bonus point by 1.1%. That 1.1% kept us from getting our bonus point, which then kept us from getting our A rating for the school. Overall, with our English language arts and our math, we were able to get a 3.5% or a 3.5 GPA. And we needed 3.6, so we missed it by a 10th of a point. But that 1.1% deficit in math, it balanced. And so, however, of all 5 grade levels that we're held accountable for, I was very proud. And though we're not an A, it's not a C, D, or F, but if you know anything about the Carlisle spirit, a B is unacceptable. Anything less than an A is unacceptable. And we know that for our school, for our community, and for this corporation, we deserve to be an A. That's why next year you will see an A on the front of our school. What we're doing and what we're continuing to do, and I'm so sorry about this, because I promise I'm not 13. The faculty, we are constantly working together, almost on a weekly basis, analyzing the data that we're pulling in from the classroom, from all of our testing, to look at the strengths and weakness of all of our kids in both English language arts and math. Not only are we remediating and enriching the top 75%, and not only the low 25%, I'm sorry, but we're also looking at the top 75%, finding ways for them to grow as well. We've created math labs, an additional 45 minutes for all of our middle school students. So now the majority of our middle school students are receiving 90 minutes of math as well as 90 minutes of English language arts. We too have a ISTEP remediation program for students in grades 3 through 8. Something else I'm very proud of is the fact that the middle school teachers wanted to do better. They wanted to do more for their kids. So every one of them sat in a room with me and they decided that they're going to take a group of middle school students. And we started this in October, and from October until the end of the year, every middle school teacher is going to coach that group of students in English language arts and math. So we will have science teachers, social studies teachers, coaching these kids in math and English language arts, working with them, working with the English language arts and math teachers, analyzing their strengths and weaknesses to get them to grow. Because anymore, it's not about showing or getting the kids to pass, it's about getting every kid to grow. And that's collectively grades K through 8 what we've decided to do in our building. Like saying before me, I am extremely proud of the faculty and staff of Carlisle. They did a wonderful job. It burns every day to look at that B and know that we missed it by 1.1%. We're a 10th of a point on our overall GPA. But together, along with our Carlisle pride, we'll get it next year. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Rob. Mr. Head? Sullivan Middle School.
report looks a lot like what you guys do on the others. We were extremely proud of Sullivan Middle School to receive an A this year from the Indiana Department of Education. I didn't put the overalls on there, but in English Language Arts, we were able to receive a 5 points out of a 4.0 scale. And in math, we received a 5.5 out of a 4.0 scale. You know, we were really proud to get that done and to continue success. We were above the state average. When we look at students who passed both portions of the ISTEP test, we were above state average. The state average was 72.4%, and Sullivan Middle School was 79.9%. Kind of like Mr. Martin, if you guys know me, 79.9, that close to 80 eats at me like you wouldn't believe. And I'm still proud of the 80, but I really wish that was an 80, to be honest with you. I've expressed that to Mr. Fitz several times, but did quite well above state average there. I mean, the state of Indiana, 79.4% of students passed the English Language Arts portion of the ISTEP test. 84.7% of SMS students passed that test. We did receive the bonus point for growth we demonstrated in the top 75%. We also received a bonus point for the growth we demonstrated in the bottom 25% in the English Language Arts. In the state of Indiana, 81.3% of students passed the math portion of the ISTEP test, and 88.9% of SMS students passed the math portion of the ISTEP test. In math, we also received those bonus points, one for the bottom 25%, one for the top 75%. And I just wanted to put it on here because I think it's worth noting. You know, we have a great math department, a great English department. I just wanted to, I told Mrs. Smith I was going to put this on there. I'm very proud of her. For the last 3 years, she's had 100% of her algebra students pass the ECA exam as 8th graders. And we're very, very, very proud of that. So that was pretty impressive. Basically what we're doing at the middle school, we want to keep tremendous students learning. I mean, we praise, we help, we explain, we tell them how cool it is to be smart. It's okay to be smart. Trying to get them to buy into what we're doing, and you know, we try to do that by, you know, we just let them know that it's for them. Even in our remediation, you know, I'll have a student come in and say, Mr. A, why do I have to be in this remediation class? And I'll say, well, because here's why. And I'll show them the data that I go through. And look, you're not doing what everybody else in there is doing. You're doing what you're doing and only you're doing because this is where you struggle. And I've noticed a lot of those students, once you explain to them why you're doing what you're doing, they'll go in and give you 100% and be happy to do that. And they'll work harder on acuity. And they'll work harder on ISTEP in those areas. But we also try to remind them that it's great to do well when they're at SMS, but we try to keep our eye on the prize. I stress to 8th grade students especially all the time that we want them to do well at SMS, but it's really about their high school future. I mean, I'm kind of a big picture kind of guy. I'm ultimately about Sullivan County, to be honest with you. So we want them to have a successful 4 years at Sullivan High School. We're only as good as each individual student, and I think that we understand that. I really do believe our students understand that. Second point is we just need to keep great teachers teaching. I think that sounds simple, but I do think we have an extraordinary group of educators who take pride in their job. They analyze data almost on a daily basis. We break it down together. We're kind of data nerds around the middle school, you know, but that's okay. We try to figure out each kid what each kid needs. I really believe that success breeds success, and I honestly think that, you know, with all the teachers and students, we really, at this point, we expect ourselves to succeed. I think that can be a powerful thing. When you get to where you want it and you expect it, then that really helps. We're going to continue our remediation program, very similar to Ross and Sam. You know, we all have very similar remediation programs. I think the bells and whistles are different, but I think they're all very, very effective. You know, I think we've all worked great together in the past to kind of create those and bounce ideas off each other. So, you know, we have to actually give credit to Sam and as much as Kill not just kidding. Ross as well, but we've worked so well. Mr. Springer's new, but we've worked well together as an administrative team to come up with some of these ideas together. And we kind of put them through all the buildings. I think we need to continue our middle school curriculum, the challenges, those who need challenge, and help those who need help. We put in the advanced classes over the past several years. We started with advanced science, moved to advanced language arts. This year we added a current events class, and a lot of the kids seem to really like. I think we need to keep doing those things. I think it's very powerful that we have the teachers prep together and have lunch together. It gives them a great time for collaboration, time if I need to meet with them as individual grades to talk about things. I just really, as far as I'm concerned, if I can keep those times in place, I'm going to, because I think that time together is very valuable for them, just to work together and work for me. So I want to keep that in place. And finally, I just think we need to work hard to keep our teamwork mindset at SMS. You know, I had a custodian tell me the other day, she was joking, her and I kind of joke together all the time. She said, you know, she used to feel like she was lower than everybody else, but now she just feels like somebody else, she feels like everybody's equal to SMS. And that meant a lot to me just to know that the custodian feels that way. We all buy in. I mean, if I go to my PE teacher and I tell her, I'm going to take Johnny out of your class mid-9 weeks and put him in remediation, she says, go for it. I mean, there's no fight, there's no mystery. He's in my class, so I think he's staying. And, you know, I think that we truly do believe that no one part is greater than the whole. And we just all work together and get it done one way or the other. So we have a small staff, so we have to lean on each other a lot. We've kind of gotten used to that over the years. So that's kind of the breakdown. Once again, very, very proud of them for their accomplishments, the teachers and the students. I say it all the time, we have the best teachers, the best parents, and the greatest students. So very proud to be the principal of Sullivan Middle School, and I'm very proud of their success.
Thank you, Justin. Mr. Springer, Sullivan High School.
Sarah met, pass out all the handouts.
Very professional approach there. You're up next, man. Mrs. Norris, after you. I wanted to share something with us here. Mr. Springer, Sullivan High School.
First of all, I'd like to say it's an honor to represent Sullivan High School. I thoroughly enjoy my job. I appreciate the board having confidence in hiring me. With that being said, these are Mr. Stuckey's kids that earn all these awards today, so hopefully John will be able to present them in a way that shows all the hard work that you and even Mr. Stitzel did when he was principal here. I did a little different. I did a 4 pages of PowerPoint that explained how complicated this formula is for you a little bit. But if you start on the graphs up here where you get the history of the PL 221, 07, 08, we were academic probation, 08, 09, we were not assessed, 09, 010, academic probation, 10, 11, academic progress, and all the way up in 11, 12 to an A. We jumped 2 letter grades. If you go down to your 11, 12 report card, we're now a letter grade of an A. This is a 2-letter grade increase from last year. The formula is very complicated. If you look on your PowerPoint, how your grade is calculated. Each category is worth 4 points. So your English language arts scores are worth 30%. Your math, they're worth 4 points. Your English language arts is worth 30% of the total grade. Math, 30% of the total grade. Graduation grade, 30%, and then your college and career readiness is worth 10%. Turn to the next page, you'll see where we can get 4 at the most, but most of our scores were in the 85 and 89%. Therefore, we received 3.5 out of 4 on mathematics and English. But we did so well, we also received a half point on our student improvement for English and math. So we were all the way up to a 4, which is the max on math, and 4 on English. We moved down to graduation rate. We weren't quite as high. I'll show you these breakdowns in a little while. But we ended up with a 3 out of 4 on our graduation rate. We move over to college career readiness. What that is 57 graduates passed a dual credit class or an AP class, and we got a 4 out of that because that's really outstanding. And then turn the page, you can see your graphs a little better. I did it on 2 pages so you can read the numbers a little better and see how we did. And the student improvement was off the charts how we did, and that's why we were able to earn a half point on each one of those. Go back to your PowerPoint. Your math ECA, we're 3.5, our congruence point at 5.0, your English language arts 3.5, again half point. The graduation rate, number of students in the class who graduated on time, 122 out of 144 and 84.7. We earned a 3, which was our lowest point. And the very back page is where really the rubber hits the road, because you have your college and career readiness. 57 students passed the dual credit class or an AP exam out of 122 for 46.7 in terms of 4. And then the real summary is the very last PowerPoint graph that we were able to do, and it shows you how we earned 4 in English, 4 in math, 3 in graduation, all those were worth 30%, 4 in the college readiness, worth 10%, and then the final column, we ended up with a 3.70, which is an A. So that's the complicated formula. I've heard people with a doctor's degree can't figure out the letter grades when they first came out. So I try to break it down with the PowerPoint presentation charts to make it a little bit clearer, but I think you can decipher the information if you care to by going back and forth onto the PowerPoint presentation to answer the graphs. Do I have any specific questions I can help you with or answer?
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Springer?
It's a lot different formula than the elementary. That's where you come in with graduation rates, how much dual credit classes you're taking. Right now we're offering, I think, 13, 14 college credit classes through Oakland City, Vincent, Indiana State. Am I missing anybody on? So a lot of our kids, Ivy Tech, a lot of our kids are coming out of college, out of high school with 30 credits already in college. So they already have almost a year of college under their belt when they graduate. We have a wonderful vocational program here with both automotive and machine and ag programs that are really wonderful. It meets the needs of some of our kids that are more farming and industrial backgrounds that seek to go into those professions. And then, of course, the academic portion of the school is tremendous. We do a lot of remediation. The kids end up in math labs or English labs, and they also have half an hour every day where we can pull them out during the enrichment period and work with kids that are struggling. It's a wonderful built-in enrichment period every day for a half an hour. It just works so, you know, if you get a kid that's happening, bring them in, help them make up tests. We just share a lot of kids, and the kids are moving all around, working on either English or math or making up an algebra test. Or, you know, with 550 kids, it's not too big that you don't know every kid. With a staff of approximately 40. Well, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Springer. I would like to add that the Southwest School Corporation overall grade for the last 2 years has been an A. I think, you know, we have a lot to be proud of. I mean, we have a lot of success. And I mean, when you look at these reports, especially the top of the page, I mean, we were on academic progress. We were on academic watch. We were on academic probation in our various schools. We've come a long way. I mean, I think it says a lot for our staff. It says a lot for our principals and administration. It says a lot for our paraprofessionals. It says a lot for our students. I mean, we've worked hard to get where we are. We weren't doing that good, quite honestly. So I'm just really excited about where we came from. I mean, we are doing a really good job, and I'm really proud of it. Liv, would you like to share with them a little bit about the AP? That's what I want. We won an award. Just what was it for? Yeah, just tell us. You can just yell.
Yeah, I can yell. The festival that we won in the golf award was very exciting. It comes from a separate entity, a nationally ranked, a national organization recognized our two things: our commitment to AP, the continuation of trying to add students and challenge students to take AP, which is very challenging. It is very hard. And our passage rule, that we're actually getting kids to pass the exam, because that's only what we get credit for. We don't get credit if they just take the class. We get credit if they pass the exam. And I think for me, I'm the most proud of the sophomores who take, quite possibly, I think, the hardest course ever, AP European history. And it is very, very challenging. And cognitively, most of those sophomores are not even close to that, being ready for that. But we get them at the end of the year to pass that exam. And for me, the most exciting thing is I get the results before they do, is that I get to call them. And the shock, because they never think they passed when they walk out. Oh, gosh. Oh, so when I get to call them and say, it's so exciting. So, the AP teachers here in this building, we work very hard. I think we're very dedicated. We attend conferences. We talk together. We bounce ideas off of each other, even though we're all teaching very different topics, math, science. The idea of trying to prepare them for college and careers itself. So I am very proud to be part of that recognition, but most of all, proud of the students and the parents who support these kids taking these harder classes that might, need a little pushing and bring home your AP, that challenging, and encouraging their kids to take challenging courses. So I'm very excited to be part of it, as are the rest of the AP teachers. We're very, very happy.
Well, if I remember right, we were one of 21 schools in the state of Indiana and 563 in the United States to win this award. So there wasn't that many schools that won it. So we're really proud of that. Thank you, Lynn.
Are there any other items of concern to the administrators or board members?
I would like to share with the board that I have had some parents concerned about headlights. They're concerned about our precautionary measures mainly and the way we administer head checks. So Mrs. Tincher and I, after the first of the year, are going to discuss that further and get back with those parents. One other thing I wanted to bring up in wake of the tragedy last week, what are we doing about school safety? I think right now there's a lot of focus on school safety, but it's always been a priority of the Southwest School Corporation to be proactive when it comes to the safety of our children. In the wake of recent events last week, we took the following steps. I placed a response on the school website concerning the tragedy and our procedures. I met with the leadership team Monday morning right after we got to school, or right after we got school started. We discussed the tragedy and how we would address it with our students and our teachers. We reviewed all of our safety and security policies. I directed the principals to meet with their staff after school to see how the day went and to review those policies. And I really stressed the importance of being positive with the kids that day and maintaining a normal routine. Everything I read said that was really important, and I think our staff did a tremendous job. We had counselors available if any kids needed to talk. I'm not sure, I didn't hear of anybody that they did, but we did have them available if they needed that. We have put in place a more routine checking of the doors to make sure they're secure during the day. We plan on meeting with the state police, the sheriff, and the city police when we get back for Christmas break. Dr. Baker, and we're going to invite RCA to that meeting also. Some things we may look at is adding panic buttons to our school, maybe doing a safety audit, and looking at our classroom door locks. As superintendent, I'd just like to stress the importance to our community, parents, and students to always be proactive and report any suspicious behavior or any potential safety issues. I think having this strong partnership is really the key to keeping our schools safe and our community. So that's all I'd like to add at this time. Finally, I would like one other thing. I would like to get it out of my mouth. Have a resolution of appreciation for our 3 outgoing board members tonight. We have 3 board members. This will be their last meeting. I want to personally thank them for all the support they've given me over the years, whether they were on the board or they were just my friends. I've really always felt like they treated me with a lot of respect, and I always appreciated that. But I do have a resolution of appreciation for each of them that I want to read into the minutes of tonight's meeting. Our first resolution of appreciation, whereas Mr. Randy Huff has faithfully served the Board of School Trustees of the Southwest Schools Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana, for the period of January 1, 2009 through December 31st, 2012, and whereas Mr. Randy Huff on December 31st, 2012 completes his term of office as a member of the Board of Trustees, and whereas Mr. Randy Huff has given unselfishly of his time and resources in assisting in the development of a school program that has been outstanding in its offering for students of the Southwest School Corporation, Sullivan County, Indiana. Therefore, be it resolved that the present Board of Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana, on the 20th day of December 2012, as a board and on behalf of the school community, faculty, and administrator, does recognize the 4 years of meaningful service of said Mr. Randy Huff, and does hereby cause this resolution to be made part of the official minutes of the Board of Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana. Randy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. I would like to say one thing, and I'd like to thank the board. I really have enjoyed these past 4 years working with everybody. I think the thing that sticks out in my mind is the fact that we've had, this is our 3rd superintendent in 4 years. And that's been tough. And we rose to the occasion every time. I think we just kept coming out stronger. I look at the principals. All of you have done a fantastic job. This corporation is in great hands. And teachers, they're wonderful. I've just never thoroughly enjoyed anything more than working on this board. Thank you.
Our next resolution of appreciation, whereas Mr. Jack Hamilton has faithfully served the Board of Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana for the period of January 1, 2009 through December 31st, 2012. And whereas Mr. Jack Hamilton on December 31st, 2012 completes his term of office as a member of this Board of School Trustees, and whereas Mr. Jack Hamilton has given unselfishly of his time and resources in assisting the development of a school program that has been outstanding in its offering for the students of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana. Therefore, be it resolved that the present Board of School Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana, on the 20th day of December 2012, as a board and on behalf of the school community, faculty, and administrators, does recognize the 4 years of meaningful service of said Mr. Jack Hamilton, and does hereby cause this resolution to be made part of the official minutes of the Board of School Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana. It is also noted that Jack served on the board previously for another 4 years. Jack? Anything you'd like to say? Our final resolution of appreciation. Whereas Mrs. June McCammon has faithfully served the Board of School Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana for the period of January 1, 1993 through December 31st, 2012. And whereas Mrs. June McCammon on December 31st, 2012 completes her term of office as a member of this Board of Trustees. And whereas Mrs. June McCammon has given unselfishly of her time and resources in assisting in the development of a school program that has been outstanding in its offering for the students of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana. Therefore, be it resolved that the present Board of School Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana, on the 20th day of December 2012, as a board and on behalf of the school community, faculty, and administrators, does recognize the 20 years of meaningful service to said Mrs. June McCammon, and does hereby cause this resolution to be made part of the official minutes of the Board of School Trustees of the Southwest School Corporation of Sullivan County, Indiana. Mrs. McCammon?
Okay. About the upcoming dates, meetings, like things.
Christmas break is December 24th, 2012 to January 2nd, 2013. And a reminder, January 3rd, 2013, school will resume.
Do I hear a motion for adjournment? Mr. Wilson and June McCammon. Seconded. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.